touch the aspect of human right. We have a Millennium Declaration on human rights front. It is said, all human rights for all. All human rights for all, every living being, every human being in the world is included in this all human rights for all. And nobody is excluded, including the people who suffer with leprosy. If you do something for the lepers or people suffering with this, please do not think that you are doing a charity. It is their right. Everybody as a matter of right is entitled to human right to be treated as such. Do not treat them as if you are giving a charity, but it is their right. Please change the approach from charity approach to the right approach. A right-based approach is the way we have to look into it. Mr. Suresh Kumar, himself having suffered, Dr. Gokhale is very much working in the field of leprosy in Pune. I am forgetting the name of that organization, but I did participate. 3 persons like Mr. Suresh Kumar who have taken a lot of lead in this work. I think not only they have helped themselves, they are helping the community, they are serving as a role model for the rest of the people to give confidence that don't worry, all that you can be normal as anybody else is. Mr. Suresh Kumar is a living example for this audience and elsewhere. I appreciate Mr. Suresh Kumar, the courage and confidence which you have built it. I have few more thoughts to share with you. This cause, from Italy, and may for that matter take eradication of polio. Look to Rotary, somebody who started. When it comes to the question of service to the humanity, geographical boundaries and territorial boundaries of the country vanish. Humanity is one. Otherwise, why people from all over should come and try to do it? Or from India we should go to somewhere elsewhere. Humanity is a community. What happens is only for the purpose of, if I ask a question, to what country or community the air belongs? To what religion or the community the food we eat belongs? The mountains, the rivers, the air, they don't have any particular religion or community. It's only men. For example, birds flying from Australia to India, or the rivers flowing from one direction to other direction, transcending the borders of the country. Birds flying, breeze flowing from one direction to the other direction, they don't need visa because they come from Australia to India or vice versa. It's only men and women, people need visa. Do you know why? The reason is they are incapable of harming. It is the people who are capable of harming. That's why they require visa. We have I don't know, long back I saw whether it is still there or not. We have Bandipura here in Karnataka. A sanctuary is there. There is a museum. When they mentioned about Dr. Jose, Dr. Nagendra Prasad and several others who have contributed. We live for ourselves, that's not great. When you live for others, you are really great. 4 things. 1, we must never forget the parents who have given birth to us. 2, we must salute the persons who have given direction to our life, gurus. Janma kottanta ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳು ಮಾರ್ಗದನ್ನು ಜನ್ಮದಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮರೆಯದಿರಿ, ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದವರಿಗೆ ನಮನ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ಆಸರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟವರಿಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸಿ, ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಮಾಜದ ಋಣ ತೀರಿಸಿ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಜೀವನ ಬದುಕಿ ಅಂತ. Do not forget parents. Salute the gurus or teachers who have given directions. Be grateful to the people who have helped in your life in some way. And you have a lot of debt on you for giving the position. How do you discharge? Discharge your debt to the society by service, more and more service, and that is the key and secret of your successful life. Those who have done it, you are really successful in your life because you have done for somebody else. I congratulate once again all those who have been useful or instrumental in serving the cause of humanity, and particularly the subject with which you are concerned now. There are some issues that are no debates. Nobody debates them. But question is, how do you really implement them? How do you serve the purpose? How do you make it a concrete issue? Dr. Alexander was mentioning to me that the unique feature of this Aifo, and he was mentioning people on Sundays go and collect, and not that everybody. I tell you, Mr. Alexander, and to all those present here, there are donors. There are people who want to help, but only point is 2 tests are to be satisfied. I think Dr. Nanganath, I'm not sure, or Mr. Ravichandran, somebody mentioned that amount coming from Italy or elsewhere, it reaches the people in terms of service. People are there to give you money and support you, provided they are satisfied with the 2 tests. Test number 1, the persons who receive money, they are honest and committed. 2, the amount or the help received goes to a right purpose and a right cause. If they are satisfied about these 2 tests, people are there. Not only there, maybe possibly they will be in queue in future when the cause is good. When Dr. Nagendra Prasad and Dr. Jose came to invite me, I agreed at once. Today also when I came, Dr. Nagendra Prasad said to me, "Sir, we are happy you have come." My spontaneous reaction was, I have great respect and concern for the cause. That's why I am here on dotted level. When looking to the gathering here, level, national level or international level conferences, functions, all that. Though this gathering is small when compared to the bigger gatherings, but this gathering has really impressed me. You are the torch bearers for the service of the humanity. That's why I am really impressed looking to the stories and history that you have made. 1,000 persons may attend a meeting. There are political functions, there are entertainment functions, filmy functions, whatever functions they are there, they will hear and go and forget. But every one of you present here, I am not praising you, I am only pronouncing on facts. I could see, referring to this gracious lady, other various people, their services and contribution made. I think each one of you are equivalent to thousands of people who just watch and go away. So this is not the number, it is the dedication of the spirit that matters. I remember say the words of Swami Vivekananda, "Give me handful of men and women, dedicated women, I shall conquer the whole world." You are enough, you can increase more, but please be confident that with your dedication and determination, you can transform the world. That is the way I would look at, and I encourage, support and stand by you wherever necessary. Please call me not for function, for service as well. I am with you. One famous sculptor was asked by somebody, "Oh, you make beautiful idols. How do you make them?" The answer of the sculptor was, "I did not make anything. I went on removing unwanted parts of the stone, idol emerged. I did not do anything except that I went on removing the unwanted parts of the stone, idol which was already there emerged. Same thing I am putting here. A person suffering with leprosy. Please try to remove all the obstacles from his life. He can find idol in him. That should be the approach as far as we are concerned. In my humble view, there is a need for meaningful awareness. I am sure many even today do not know that the leprosy is curable. If you go to rural area and other places, many of them still do not know. They just want to stand away. The best examples are Mahatma Gandhi and Mother Teresa. Their pictures are very much available. They went to their camp, they stayed with them, they served with them, still they did not just survive, they became Mahatmas. By serving lepers, they did not just survive, nothing happened to them. On the other hand, they became great persons in the world. Leprosy is curable. How it is to be done? The awareness machinery which you must be doing, I only say, strong machinery of creating awareness will be very, very helpful and instrumental in serving the cause. I may make one suggestion quickly here. In each state of the country, we have legal services authorities, including Karnataka. Karnataka State Legal Service Authority is there. They have got mobile vans. They go to district places. This organization is there at the state level, district level and taluka level. They go to villages also. They go to create what is called literacy camps, awareness programs. All that you have to do is, your organization should associate with them whenever they go on, even it's a government cause as well. Our Commissioner for Disability, Mr. Rajanna, is also here. And they can join hands and join them. Every arrangement is, and all that is required is one social activist or person well informed about this should go, try to propagate, try to explain how best it can be done and what are the prospects for the education, disease, removal of treatment, etc., etc. Everything can be done. So, awareness and coupled with the strong advocacy. Our voices should be louder. Wherever needed, we should advocate strongly for this. Is the first thing we should do. Second thing is social stigma. Social stigma many a times is severe than the disease itself. People suffer in silence some disease, but the social stigma, it becomes so difficult for them to peaceful and happy. The way people look at them makes them more miserable than the disease itself. How best you try to remove the social stigma. After awareness, the next stage, the social stigma should be removed. Then treatment part is there. I have been hearing from all of you that how treatment part is given. Removal of social stigma, rehabilitation, awareness, treatment, removal of social stigma, and then rehabilitation. And then it's not enough only to rehabilitation, much more important is emotional reintegration. This program must not be the Aifo efforts or efforts of all the people working in voluntary organizations or otherwise. They must have integrated approach and not a truncated approach. Integrated approach must have all these elements together and take cooperation and the coordination of the government wing, your method, other NGOs, whoever they are there, all of them together must have coordinated, cooperative and concerted efforts to reach the goal. Goal is one. That's how they have to do it. When it comes to the disability, Mr. Rajanna is the Commissioner for Disability Government of Karnataka. As a member of the National Human Rights Commission, I had to do something with these aspects which I have shared. When it comes to disability, what is the disability provisions in respect of others? I think the people coming in this category as well need to be supported on that angle as well. Dr. Mahadev made a statement that he picked up a quotation from my book which I wrote. I said, it is better to make children themselves asset rather than asset to children. Adavu Kannadaದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರು, it is better to make children themselves asset rather than asset to children. I'll just explain. If asset is made to a boy or girl, and ultimately if they are wise enough, they will retain that property, otherwise they will lose that property also. At any rate, it is for asset is for them, and they are the asset to the society and asset to the country, and it is not liability to anybody. That's why it is better to make children themselves asset rather than asset to the children. When I say this, children, if somebody asks me, supreme wealth of the country, of any country, is the children. Ignoring and neglecting the foundation of children is ignoring the very foundation and strength of the country. Take it from me. So many children of the person suffering with leprosy, if they are not able to be brought to the mainstream of a normal life, to that extent, he gave a figure that how the figure is increasing or decreasing, but the factually figures are there. If you don't treat them, if you don't bring them to the mainstream, to that extent the development of the country gets paralyzed. A thought was passing in my mind. I was thinking today so many issues and problems are there in the country. I don't want to go into that debate. What best we can do in regard to this? In countries like Israel, Singapore and few other countries, compulsory military training is an issue. They give compulsory military training. The boy or girl, the moment completes the age of 18, a letter comes from the government that you have to join the training. That doesn't mean that it is compulsory that everybody should join defense forces or the military. Idea is, I think it is high time that our country also should adopt this. The reasons are four. One is, whenever it has become a proverbial, it is a military discipline. People sit straight and right and don't make galata, they say military discipline. The training of 1 or 2 years compulsorily will make them disciplined in the first place. Number two, a sense of patriotism will be developed, because in the military training they teach the country is above. So sense of patriotism and belonging also will be developed. Three, obviously after training of 1 or 2 years they become healthy and strong. Healthy and strong, such youngsters contribute for the healthy and strong India. I mean, it is necessary to think how best we can help. And then Dr. Ranganath Rao gave a memento to Dr. Jose. I want to share one thing. A pen or a gift or anything, a pen or some small article given as a gift. What is important is not the article. What is important, or much more important, is the feeling behind presenting that article. Feelings and emotions behind that memento make it a gift, otherwise it's just a memento or pen. Dr. Jose, you have got in that memento, it's not a memento, the feelings and emotions of people appreciating your services. What applies to you applies to everybody whoever gets the memento. It's nice. You did not work for a moment. What I say, it's a time, not only in this country, everywhere, we must move from sermons to action. We have to move from sermons to service. Let us, our works and words, our work must speak more eloquently than words. I think those people really deserve our all best wishes in your endeavors. And people coming from Italy, it was said that she is first woman president in a golden year. Golden lady, you have got a golden opportunity to serve. We can serve much better. And our best wishes for your endeavor for a good cause. And Dr. Jose and all the partners, and particularly the guests who have come from other countries, Italy and other countries. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate your concern for India as part of humanity. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
ಸಾರ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಹಾಸ್ಯದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಭಾಳ ಅವರು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಹೀಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮೈಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಾನ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಸರ್ ನೀವಿನ್ನೂ 1 ಗಂಟೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಕವಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪೊಯೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್, ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರೈಟ್ 3 lines ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್. ರಸಿಕನಾಡಿದ ಮಾತು ಶಶಿಯುದಿಸಿ ಬಂದಂತೆ, ರಸಿಕನಾಡಿದ ಮಾತು ಶಶಿಯುದಿಸಿ ಬಂದಂತೆ, ರಸಿಕನಲ್ಲದವನ ಮಾತು ಕಿವಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಕೂರ್ದಸಿಯ ಬಡಿದಂತೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು, ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರು, ತಜ್ಞರು ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು, ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಹೊಸ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾರಿವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ಓದ್ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೇನೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಸ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನೇ ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಿರಣ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಟೀಚರ್ಸನ್ನು, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಅವರೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಡೇ ದಿವಸ ಯಾರು ರಿಟೈರ್ಡ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಡೀ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಚೆಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟು, ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಉಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಗವಿಕಲರು ಅವ್ರ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವರನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಸಹೋದರರು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಚ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಸರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್. ಸರ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಇವತ್ತು 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಲ್ಲೇ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೋಸ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ಇಟಲಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಇದ್ರು. ಇದೊಂದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕಂಡತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಣಿ ಸರ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸವೆನೀರ್. ನಾವು ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಸರ್ ಟು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ದಿ ಸವೆನೀರ್. Amy Joseph, sir, you have taken so much of time. You worked very hard for the success of this function. ವಿಶೇಷ ಸಂಚಿಕೆ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 750 Aifo 50 ಇದನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ದಿ ಕಾಪೀಸ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ. ದಿ ಕಾಪೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೊನೆಯ ಘಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು, ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೆ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಫೀಸ್, ನಂತರ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಐಫೋ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟಿ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೆ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಅವರು. ಅವರ ವಂದನಾರ್ಪಣೆಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರದ ಇಟಲಿಯಿಂದ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ನಾನಾ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟರೀಸ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ನೆನಪಿನ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು, ಮೆಮೆಂಟೋಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಮರಿಯಾ ಐಫೋ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆಮೆಂಟೋಸ್. KV ರಾಜಣ್ಣ, ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ KV ರಾಜಣ್ಣ ಬರಬೇಕು, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅಣ್ಣ ಅವರಿಂದ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್. KV ರಾಜಣ್ಣ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಅವರು ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಯಾ ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್. ಸುರೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಂಗನಾಥ್ ರಾವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್, ಯಾ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಸರ್. Dr. Ranganath Rao. Shri Ravichandran. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Please present the mementos. Anna Maria, board member of Aifo Italy, Antonio Isoni, please come on the stage. Sir, please come. Daisy madam, please. Next, Giovanni Gazzoli, please come, sir. Gazzoli, sir. Yeah. Sergio Zolini, sir, please come on with us. Madam, please come. Yeah, please come. Emilia, Maria Gracia, Marisa Golfetto, Archangeli, sister Archangeli, yes. Mr. Paulo, please come, sir. Mr. Libero, please come and accept the memento. On behalf of Aifo, on this Golden Jubilee occasion, we are presenting mementos to you. Dr. Anna Maria, Aifo President, our ex-minister and trustee of this Aifo, Dr. J. Alexander, sir, please come. A great social worker in Karnataka, great social worker in India, great social worker in our capital city, all lives to blind students and disabled persons. You can ask anybody, each and every corner of Bangalore. Dr. Nagendra Prasad is a very popular social worker. He is working. Now Kannadadalli ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲೆ ಮರೆ ಕಾಯಿ ತರ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲೈಸ್ ಜೋಸೆಫ್ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್. ಜೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, yes, Jose over here. Me Jose. Yes, trustees. Mr. Jose, sir. Now I request, ನೋಡಿ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಫುಡ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಸೋಹಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಬೆಲೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ನಂತರ ಊಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರು ಕೂಡ ಊಟ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಈಗ ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಲಂಚ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ just 2 minutes, please be seated. Now I request our beloved trustee of Aifo India and part of thanks.
The chief guest of today's function, Honorable Sri Shivraj Patil, the President of Aifo, Dr. Anna Maria, President of Aifo Trust, Dr. Daisy, Sri Rajanna, Commissioner of Disability in the Government of Karnataka, and I don't want to mention the names of people, all board members and others who have come from Italy representing Aifo and the partners of this organization. My pleasant task is to propose vote of thanks to all those who have made this function a great success. My association with Aifo is as old as the trust has been formed here in Bangalore. Dr. Daisy and the then President Dr. Yegambaram, whom I salute with all my heart because of the dedication with which he worked. All of us who have known him have only appreciation for the kind of commitment that he had for the work he took up in this organization. So from those days I have been associated with that, and I take it as a great privilege to know about this organization and the great work it is doing. Dr. Rudyard Kipling, you must have heard about this name. He once said, "The East is East and the West is West,
and never the twain shall meet. But today in this small hall, we find the meeting of the East and West to tackle a common problem of leprosy. Dear friends, about 40 years back, I used to be the district magistrate, the collector or deputy commissioner of Dharwad district, area from which our chief justice comes. One Dr. Macadam, some of you know him, he and his wife came to me and said, "Sir, we are working in the area of leprosy and we would like to do a survey in one of the villages in Dharwad for knowing how many people are suffering from leprosy." I said, "Don't tell me about leprosy in Dharwad. I don't know of any leprosy cases in Dharwad." He said, "Sir, there is one village by name Amin Bhavi. Amin Bhavi is about 7 kilometers from Dharwad town, and that is a place where there is endemic leprosy." I said, "I don't believe it because I have gone to Amin Bhavi. That is a village of Professor Saudati, the birthplace of Professor Saudati, who was the vice chancellor, is a good friend of mine. I have visited that village several times. I never found a leprosy patient there. But I say, anyway, you have come for a survey. Go ahead, come back and report to me that your survey was a failure." 3 days later, he came to me and said, "Sir, we did a comprehensive survey of the village. All the people cooperated, and we found 27% of the villages have leprosy, endemic leprosy." And then I said, "What can we do? I am surprised to hear this, but whatever you can do, please do." And the only thing that I could do was to give him land, government land, for establishing a hospital. The 20-acre plot in Jubilee, I was able to grant to him. Today, it's a very valuable land, but that was a kind of tribute I paid to the kind of sincerity with which they work, and I think they have been able to do a lot of good work in that area. The second exposure that I had was when I came here as Commissioner of the City Corporation. We had an occasion to visit Sumanahalli, where Father Kannandanam represents that. Sumanahalli was outside Bangalore city. The only neighbor was beggars colony. Beggars who were not wandered in the streets of Bangalore city were dumped in the beggars colony, and leprosy patients who were not to be seen by people were dumped in the other side of the road. And later on, I had an opportunity to be Secretary to Government Social Welfare, at which the Department of Rehabilitation was also associated. For a short period, there is a chairman, non-official chairman for the beggars colony. It's called Nirashrita Parihara Kendra. For a short time, until the new chairman was posted, as Secretary to Government, I was asked to look after the post of the chairman of the beggars colony, father's neighbor. And one of the first representations that came to me was, "Sir, the beggars colony should be shifted." Why? It is close to the leprosy area. That was the kind of attitude they had towards leprosy patients and leprosy treatment. The Magadi Road, which is now a very busy road, where there was a corporation's leprosy center, was avoided by people. And in fact, the background of one road which comes from Rajaji Nagar towards that was done because people are avoiding that road. What Justice Shivraj Patil said, the attitude towards leprosy has to be changed. And the third point I want to mention was about Mother Teresa. Justice Shivraj Patil, with great respect and reverence, referred to Mother Teresa. I have an incident to mention. You have all heard about a great journalist by name Kushwant Singh. He is past 90 years, and even today he writes in Deccan Herald. Every week he writes, and that is a piece which people read with great interest. A bold writer. He used to be, some years ago, the editor of the Illustrator Weekly of India, a very famous magazine. And he was a very well-known person. He wanted to see Mother Teresa in her convent in Calcutta because he has heard such glowing reports about a European nun who came to Calcutta and started living on the streets of Calcutta and giving relief to unwanted people, disabled people, leprosy patients. So he took appointment with the sister and went to the convent. He expected the superior of the convent, Mother Teresa, a European nun, a big figure, pompous figure coming to receive him. But from the drawing room, he saw a frail-looking nun bending over a leprosy patient and washing the gaping wounds of that leprosy patient, rubbing it with her own towel, putting some powder and kissing the wound. This was something which shocked this journalist. And after half an hour, when Mother Teresa came to see him, he said, I came to see Mother Teresa. She said, I am Mother Teresa. I don't believe that. Then he said, Mother, I want her to watch the dirty, gaping wound of this leper, rub it, and then even kiss it. How did you do that? He said, no, I didn't do that. I was washing the wound of my Jesus. I was rubbing the wound of my Jesus. I was kissing the wound of my Jesus. I said this, and he wrote about this in a beautiful way in an article in Illustrated Weekly. What I mentioned is work for leprosy patients. Such kind of patients can be done only with real motivation and dedication. Aifo has been started with that dedication, and it is continuing with that kind of motivation and with the support and commitment of a large number of partners who are all here, who have sustained this organization for 50 years. As Justice Shivraj Patil said, 50 years is not a long period in the history of an organization, but it is a period long enough to sit back and do a little bit of heart searching and stock taking. The Romans had a great god in their pantheon. Well, that god's name was Janus, Janus. This Janus was known to have two eyes, one looking forward and one looking backward. So this Jubilee or 50 years anniversary is a time when we should have this Janus's eyes. One eye to look backward for the 50 years and another eye to look ahead for the next 500 years. And let this occasion be an occasion enabling all of you to open these two eyes, backward eyes and forward eyes. Learn from the experiences of 50 years, learn from the mistakes of any of 50 years, and plan for the next 500 years. May God bless this organization. It is my privilege to express vote of thanks to all those who have made this possible to make this function a great success. Let me congratulate Jose and Dr. Nagendra Prasad for inviting the great Raoul, not merely the speech, it is presence. He is a great man in our country. I am not praising him as he said, but a person who is highly respected in our state and throughout the country. A person who is respected because he practices what he preaches, practices what he sermonizes, and therefore, as one who has had the opportunity to know him as a judicial officer, as an advocate, as a Supreme Court judge, as the chairman of the Human Rights Commission, whatever assignment he held, he has not forgotten that he is above all a human being. And sir, it is for that, therefore, we thank you very much and may God bless you for your service. I am so happy to see the Golden Lady, Dr. Anna Maria, as a member of the Trust of Aifo. We are so glad even gender differences are disappearing and women are, devotion are concerned. We men have to admit that women are better. And therefore, in an area, in a job like this where commitment and devotion are required, people like Dr. Anna Maria and Dr. Daisy are better than Alexander and Jose and Dr. Srinivasan and all that. So we salute you and gracias tante. Now, Dr. Daisy, I have known her from the time I joined the trust. Picture of humility, because some people, when they become chairman or big office bearers, and she just, with that humility and willingness to serve, she serves this organization. And may I, on behalf of Aifo, thank you for all that you have been to Aifo. Sri Rajanna is a member of the State Civil Service. He is now looking after the Department of Rehabilitation. He has a big responsibility as an officer in the government. I wish that he continues his job in this organization with the commitment which is required, because it is not like any other department where favors are to be given, like revenue department or industries department, allotment of sites or things like that. This is a department where he has to put his heart and soul into